recruiters suck. Yeah, and I just want to develop this idea of when people reach out to me and say like, recruitment professionals or talent acquisition people suck. Yes, in a sense, but I also want to highlight some of the things that you probably are not considering. Thing number one, your mind is prone to generalizations. Generalization is a mental filter, right? You have your personal set of experiences in the past, and this is how your mind operating. You create sort of buckets of things, categories of things, and your mind, it helps your mind to make sense of the world, of the reality, and systematize things, right? If you, I don't know, like the worst and sort of the most amplified version of generalization is racism, right? You had some certain experiences with, let's say, black people or brown people or yellow people, and your mind starts decoding it as, which becomes a form of racism later. You say, oh, those black people, or those brown people, or those yellow people. There are no people. Like this is a superficial, ignorant thinking if you think that way. Because if you remove skin and flesh and body and you start looking into the mind, that's all we are, right? Like we don't know, even if you start removing all the layers of the minds, you will see that we are all the same. We are all one. We are one consciousness, and we are all have always been connected. Again, I don't want to go into like a spiritual journey here, but that's number one thing. Remember about your generalizations. If you had some negative experiences with recruiters, it doesn't mean that all recruiters suck. Which brings me to the point number two, Gaussian distribution. You've seen the Bell distribution, right? You will see in any kind of role, I'm not talking about recruiters specifically, but in any kind of role, you will see 10% of poor performers, like a big chunk of mediocrity inside, and you will find your top 1% operators. Athletes, business people, software developers, you name it, doesn't matter what the role is. There is a whole distribution, right? If I, like, you can see, like I'm sitting right now in the town hall area, it's a huge room. I'm gonna bring like 500 people into this room. What's the chance that one of them is gonna be an idiot? Not high likely. If I find like 500 random people on the street, there is a very high probability, right? And what's the probability that some of the people that you've met are not of very high intelligence? Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself the question, like, are you being the one of very high intelligence in that conversation that happens, right? And don't be too judgmental, because that's an opportunity to self-reflect. Point number three, imagine the life of a recruiter, right? Life of a recruiter, as I said, you can have in a given time 15 to 20 roles on your desk, multiple priorities, million things to juggle, lots of business partners to please. You need to close there, hire the person there, hire 10 people there, right? Business is on fire, right? Everything is important, and you need to become a prioritization guru in a sense, because that's your efficiency as a recruiter is a function of your prioritization skill. And there are some things that are just lower priority. And yes, many people use it as an excuse. I am too busy. I have so much work. I'm not going to provide feedback to this candidate. And that's possible. That's okay. That's the talk inside their head that they're okay with. And that's the way they do things, right? But there will be some people that will operate under a principle: the way you do anything is the way you do everything. The way you make your bed in the morning is the way you work. The way you exercise is the way you prepare your meal. And the way you eat is the way you treat others. When you think that way, that's where you will see top operators. And I know that some people will come into this conversation with a degree of cynicism. Hell, when you describe top operators in that way, it seems like they don't exist. They exist. If you look closely, you will find them, right? But not everyone is a top operator, of course, right? And this is another, again, opportunity to self-reflect. Is any kind of content that you watch actually helps you to get there? So many books. Every year people write books about success, about how to get rich, how to get ripped, how to get successful, how to get great relationships, how to achieve spiritual awakening. You look outside, what do you see on the street? Do you see people who are millionaires, six-pack abs, who are driving great cars, third eye open, spiritually awakened people? You don't see it. Why? Because the prescriptive nature of things never works. Prescriptions don't work, right? And you cannot prescribe your way into anything. You cannot follow a blueprint or an instruction or a manual or a step-by-step guide or 5 steps to success or 10 steps to top performance or any kind of nonsense like that. It's just BS and it doesn't work, right? So I'm not begging for anything, not asking you for compassion, not asking you for your understanding. I don't really care, to be honest, because it's your life, it's your mind, and this is something you want to do. And the quality of your life directly depends on the degree and the depth of your understanding. And I gave you 3 points. I can give you more. But lastly, the concept of locus of control. I'm sure you have it. If you haven't heard of it, like, you can Google it, right? But do you believe that things happen to you or you make things happen, right? That's the question that I want to leave you with today. And yeah, think about this and good luck to you. I hope you will meet more people who don't suck and build your dream career. Good luck.